What's up, guys? I'm back. Just wanted to talk about buying or financing your first car. This is a basic introduction, and just wanted to explain to you guys what exactly it takes and what exactly you need to have. So let's get right into it. Many people just go to the dealership, or even just buying a car in general, buying a sports car, just financing a car, learning how it all goes, and not just getting yourself tied into something that you're not ready for, or even like get yourself tied into something that doesn't make sense. So, for instance, let me give you an example. My first car had financed in my name. I had to co-sign it with my grandmother, but my first car was my Corvette. It was a 2016 Corvette Z06. I wanted the car bad. I wanted the car really bad. I was working hard, and I was like, man, I want this car, and I did everything it took. So the mistake I made here, let's start. The car was at a dealership in Georgia, and the dealership in Georgia was Hendrick Chevrolet. My buddy works at Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary, North Carolina. So I told him, hey man, listen, I want this car. The dealership won't give it to me, because what happened was they couldn't get me approved. Even with my grandma as a co-signer, my grandma doesn't work anymore. She has a steady income, but she doesn't work anymore. So they couldn't get me signed to, get the car. And I don't remember telling them to basically run my credit. You have to have a good, fair credit above like 650 at least to get a good loan. Especially you have to know what you make and all that, and what goes, what you can afford. So no bank is going to give you a loan unless it's less than half. The payment is going to be less than half of what you make a month. So let's say you make $2,000 a month, your payment has to be less than $1,000, and they have to obviously recall for food and insurance and all that. But they couldn't get me approved. It wasn't because I didn't make enough, or it wasn't because it was because my credit was low and I had no history on it. I was only, I think when I got it I was 18, and I had nothing to show for it. So I told them, I might have told them, I don't remember. I told them maybe to run my credit, keep running it, see what you can do. They ran my credit like 25 times, which is terrible for your credit. They, as they called it, shotgunned my credit. And my credit was, my credit's obviously went up significantly. I'm basically in the 800s right now, considering the cars I've went through. But you have to have good credit, to say the least. Besides that, the percent matters. So when I finally got the car to my buddy in North Carolina that was a finance manager, he talked to the banks and convinced them, listen, I'm going to be paying for the car. And not many people have those connections, so don't expect something like that to happen to you. But they gave me the car at 6.9% interest, which is insane. I believe I did the math on it or something. It came out to like $13,000 of interest alone. So interest is the money the bank takes for loaning you the money to basically get the car. So there's 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, 72 months. There's 84 months. I think I did an 84-month loan on it, regardless of if the car sold. But the interest rate was super high. That's super, super high. Normal people would want to have a 2 to 3 to maybe 4% interest rate. Right now, I think I don't know if I can recall, my Camaro was 4% or 3.9% or something, which isn't bad because I did it through the dealership. So I'm not going to give out too many details, but I'm looking to get a new car soon. I'm going to get a loan for it. I already got approved. But the bank I'm going through gives loans depending on the amount of time there's interest depending on the amount of time you're going to have the loan for. So let's say you're going to have a loan for 24 months, which is 2 years. It's going to be 1.99%, which is cheap. If you need the money now and you don't have it, and you think you're going to have it in 2 years, or you're going to have it within the 2 years, then you get that. Or there's 36 months, or they give you a range. They'll go from 24 to, let's say, 31 months, or 36 to 48 months, and let's say 48 to, or 49 to 66 months, which I believe I'm going to do. I was going to do the 48-month one, but I think I'm going to do the 49 to 60 months, just in case. You never know what happens and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go get a lower loan. If I have extra money that month, I'll pay more money for it. But the point I'm trying to prove is, it depends on. I go to a credit union because they give you a better percent. You might not think it's a big deal, but some banks, dealerships make money off giving loans. So the dealership's gonna make money if you get the loan through them, which sometimes they even knock money off, which they did on one of my buddies' ZL1. They knocked a little bit of money off because they knew they were making money on the loan as well. So what you do is, if you want a shorter term, or do the numbers, go to a credit union, a local credit union. I think they're ran by the United States, so something like that. I heard a rumor. I don't know how it goes, but I'm just saying what I know. If they're ran like that, then you won't have any problems getting a loan cheaper. So instead of getting one of your first sports cars, you don't have high credit, you can pay 6% for no reason, or 5% for no reason, when you go to a credit union for the same amount of months and pay 3.5% or 3.7 or 4%. That 1%, 2% is gonna make a big difference. It's gonna save you maybe, depending on what kind of car you're gonna get, $500 to $3,000. I don't know about you guys, but I like saving money every way. I like knowing what I need to know instead of getting myself into something. Especially, there's a lot of people that don't have credit. A lot of people in this area specifically that I know of, that they just go get a car. They don't care, 10% interest rate, and they're stuck in this car that is $30,000, for instance. Let's say they go buy an RT Dodge Charger, or let's say a Camaro SS, like a base model, or like a $35,000 car. Let's say Camaro SS, $35,000 car, for instance. They buy that car. The interest rate should be 3%, 4%. Let's say 4% on the high side if they want to have the loan for 72 months, for instance. It should come out to, with tax, roughly, I don't know, 43, 44,000, interest and everything. But these people are having high interest rates. They pay tax and everything. They sign the papers. They don't even look at what they're signing, and they owe $55,000 on a car that's worth $35,000. You just got to know your facts. You got to understand that buying. There's good and bad buying and leasing. I'll get into another video about leasing cars, but buying cars, you have to know what you're doing. Paying cash, I have nothing really to tell you about paying cash. If you have the cash and you want to spend it, do you? But if you have steady income where you can pay the car every month, keep your capital, keep your cash. Don't pay cash for it, unless it's something that you have. Don't pay 30% of your savings into something when you could invest that into something else. That's not the point though. But just know the dealership makes money on the loan, so go to a credit union. Know what you're paying for the car. Know the dealership always has room to negotiate. Rewind this video, watch it a few times, go in, test it out a few times before you're interested in buying a car. Just don't sign something. You have to know all the facts, because these papers they have you sign, some dealerships are good. I'm not gonna lie. My buddies, the LaFontaine Automotive Group, they're good people. They won't screw you over nothing. Their paperwork is all online. But there's other dealerships I'm not going to name that I've bought cars from. They'll sneak things in. Oh, this car has 400 miles on it. You didn't know, when you expect to have 10 because it was brand new. Or this car is, the interest rate's a little bit higher. Always going to tell you, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. It's a big deal to you. First of all, it's fraud. Not many people think that happens often, but it happens very often. Just know your facts. Get your car from a reputable dealership. Look online, do your research, and you'll be good. Buying a car is a big thing. It's like getting a house, getting a mortgage. You have to know what to do. You can't just go sign something. Don't sign something. Read through it. You're going to have something for years and years. Read through it. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to think of a couple ideas I can tell you guys. I'm about to run into my credit union right now and talk to the ladies there. But besides that, I'll get back to you guys. All right, back in the car now. I was in my credit union for about 40 minutes, but missed out on something. Forgot to say. They sell insurances, wheel and tire insurance, gap insurance. I forgot what the other one was called. Something to do with like kind of like life insurance for your car. So, God forbid you were to pass away, your family doesn't have to deal with the car. They can pay the loan off or something like that. They pay the loan off. In regards to that, it depends on what you want. So, for instance, gap insurance. My car has a few modifications done to it. Nothing crazy, just like bolt-ons. When I'm gonna buy it, it has bolt-ons done to it. So those mods, let's say $10,000 of mods, it's not gonna be covered under the value of the vehicle. So let's say the vehicle's valued at 70 grand. You're paying 85, 90, whatever you're paying for. For instance, if the vehicle is let's say you buy a Pro Charged Camaro, for instance, a newer one. they go for about $35,000. The value is about $30,000, but the guys like a Pro Charger and some other mods, you pay $38,000 for it. They're gonna give you only $30,000 for it. Even here, unless you get the full loan, which most banks don't give you a loan for more than the value's worth. Like if it's worth a couple thousand more, they'll maybe give it to you, but they'll give you a higher interest rate because they don't like, they're asking like why you buy a car more, like for more. Like sometimes that's why the interest rate's higher, is because you know you're buying a car for more than it's worth. But basically, just watch for stuff like that. So don't get gap insurance. Don't get wheel and tire, unless wheel and tire is actually good. So I have a wheel and tire. I've got wheel and tire before in the past, and I've had flats, and I can just get them like them warranted. So wheel and tire is good. It's only like $400 on most vehicles, unless they're like really expensive, like Ferraris or something like that. Ferrari, Lamborghini. Sometimes they don't even cover those vehicles. But gap insurance, not so much. Get it through your insurance. Talk to your insurance about it. Wheel and tire, I definitely recommend it. But besides that, guys, if you enjoyed this little video, if you have any tips for anyone else in this video that's watching this video, any tips on buying a car, leave a comment down below. My name is Kyle. Follow me on Instagram. It's @Sinister_lifestyle. But I'm out of here.